I wish that more people had a willingness to listen to both sides as far as um, freezing rents. I'm wondering how many actually have properties, rental properties, who understand what it means to
It means no
own
more
and
repairs and
operate.
maintenance, right, Ribbon? If you're
Well, you've
constraining
got maintenance costs, you've got overhead costs, you've got insurance costs, you've got employee costs, you have the maintenance cost depending upon um the age of the property. You've got government regulations that you have to go by every year that can change. For instance, out in California, earthquake retrofits can change on a dime, and those can be $150,000 at minimum to retrofit that property. So if you have somebody, and then when you look at rent control, there's a lot of people who don't have no subletting in their leases. And if you have no subletting in your leases, guess what? You're renting from the great great grandma, and there's no way to get them out. And so you're paying rents that are from 1970, but your water bill's gone up a 500% a year. Your electric costs have gone up 350% a year, even though your usage has gone down. Your trash department, everything goes up. Your rent control fees go up, even if they don't have to pay because of COVID. All of those things the government still requires from those property owners.
And
So,
Ribbon, I had a friend in a situation where the government will pay the tenant and then expects the tenant to hand the money over to the landlord. And that never happens.
well, yes, that is actually correct. That happened out in California where it was on good faith that the tenant gave the landlord the back due rent. And even if they kept it, they would open up a new case for it. Um, I would also go in on the rental properties. Um, Insurance costs alone on properties now are astronomical, if not impossible. So how are you going to get a mortgage if you can't get the insurance? And if you have to afford, if you have to pay for the insurance, you're going to keep the water on. And then the tenants are going to complain to the rent control board that the painting isn't done, that this and that is not done. Okay. So then you look at the rent control and you look at HUD and you look at the low and moderate income. Well, once you look at how much they take, and let's actually back up. If everybody actually had to write a check for their FICA, Medicare, and federal withholding, instead of it automatically being deducted from their paycheck, their perception of taxes would change.
Okay, I want to do this in reverse since Daryl has his thumb up. Daryl?
Well, now that you said that last thing, I'm self-employed, so
Right?
I when I pay my taxes, it's a huge lump sum, and I pay that
And
Social
you have
Security
estimated
tax.
tax payments every year. And if you don't make that right, you're going to get penalized, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, they
Yes,
want to collect the money from me before I even made the money.
that's absolutely right.
And yeah, most people, most workers, their number one tax is Social Security tax. They don't even realize it. And if you work for an employer, your employer is paying half of that tax.
No, your employer's not paying. Well, your employer is matching that tax, but quite frankly, Daryl, most people don't even know that employers have to match that tax.
Right. Well, when you're self-employed, there's no matching. You have to
Oh,
pay the
I'm
full.
aware.
Yeah. So yeah, I that's part of why I'm always like on the right wing of things with taxes because I see the system for what it is. I'm like, holy cow! I can't like just income withholding is such an insidious system because people don't know how much they're actually paying in tax.
Funny point, Daryl. Let me interrupt you there with that because you have not only your federal withholding, your FICA, your Medicare. Then let's just use California an example because that likes to be a favorite. So you have California, you have federal, you have state income tax. You might be in a lower income unit, you might be in a rent controlled unit. But most of the time, those places don't have parking. If they do have parking, it's extra, usually $150 or more a month. Even street parking, when it first started out there, was like $25 a year. Now it's $75 a year. You get charged 10 cents a paper bag anytime you forget your reusable bag. You've got to park when you meter. So and then also your cell phone bill, your taxes on your cell phone bill, if you
Yeah.
have a 310 area code, is more expensive than if you have a 713 area code. Tax, tax, tax. So out in California, 45 to 55 cents of every dollar you make goes to some taxing entity.
And I just want to say this is to me a nonpartisan statement. Jeffersonian Democrats of the world, unite.
The money part has nothing to do with the politics. I don't care about the politics of it. I care about how much money is getting out of people's pockets and for what.
Amen, Ribbon. And
It's to service the debt. That's what it is.
So when you talk about things like real estate, well, when everybody deserves to buy a home and you don't have to have any money down, well, what are you going to do? You're obviously going to falsify the prices of those homes because more people have the ability and the demand has gone up. So those prices are going to go up. So you falsely inflate the market. And that's what happened. And then it dies.